Hello, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Today's date, it's October 5th of 2022. Stand by for my little logo. Back. A while back, let's see, when would this would have been? When would this would have, kind of early here. I made this video. Well, it's got 176, actually it's got 176 views, so I actually have got, I was thinking that not very many people picked up on this. I don't think I got any comments about it. Walmart, we ordered groceries from Walmart and have it delivered quite often. And quite a while back, all of a sudden when you go to the Walmart site, there are things like a 12-pack of Coke for $100. There'll be there's quite a whole bunch of things that are in there at that, at prices like that. And, of course, my ex-wife, she does all the grocery ordering, and I don't even, but, well, like, she's like, wow, the prices have gone up, and, and I know, I said, their system is it's messed up. Oh, by the way, you're not seeing this, okay. I said, the system is messed up. The program, software, the people doing that, something's messed up. The prices are not, prices are going up a lot, but not anywhere near, those are, and I said, it'll be fixed quick, No, it hasn't. It's been, I think, months. When you go to Walmart to order groceries, you're going to see things that are totally bizarre, prices that are totally bizarre. I don't understand. Let me give you, okay, I just got this in an email, because they send out, here, okay. A while back, I don't particularly like the cheese inside of the Johnsonville sausages. Like I said, my ex-wife, she does the ordering of it. We share an apartment, and our grown son, we all share the expense. In fact, we just about have to. It would not make sense for us to be, both paying, electricity bills that have gone up, all these bills that have gone up. But by, living in one place, it still hurts. But, we can make it. And I let her do all the, the food ordering. But she likes, Walmart, and she buys mostly their brand, whatever the brand is. I should know because everything that's what she orders. And she's really not interested in ordering. But I occasionally, very rarely, I'll go, well, probably not as much because our grown daughter and her son lived for a year or two or something in this apartment complex. We could see their apartment, and we don't have a car, or she has a car, or whatever, so occasionally she would go buy groceries, so I a few times went with her, and then I would pick up other items. that my ex-wife, didn't seem like she was interested in ordering. And so, she ordered the Walmart brand of whatever they call it. I could go look in the kitchen because 3/4 of the stuff in there is that brand. And like for hot dogs, she'd get the cheapest hot dogs. So this Johnsonville, when I went, they had about, I don't know how many. I got like 3 or 4 different varieties of it. I don't think at that time I got the cheddar cheese in there. Maybe I did. But, I brought them home, and the ex-wife, loved them. And I do too. They're really good. And she likes the cheddar cheese now. Although she's just, it seems like it's just been a while, but it seems like it's been forever. She's on the keto diet or something or other. And she's like, how vegetarians are on, they're like religious people, like the Jehovah's Witnesses, or, come to your door, and what's the other group? And now she's watching all well, she wasn't really a YouTube fan, became a little bit of a YouTube fan, and then she went on this keto diet, and now she watches it and tells me, anyway, so back then, the prices were going up, but now of course this is not. Anyway, I told her, I said, it's the software, the data processing people. I said, it'll be fixed real quick, and then of course it wasn't fixed real quick. Oh, you're not seeing this again, okay. And then I was saying, I cannot understand that. Think of all the people, I was telling her, think of all the people, older people, though I'm older, but, think of the older people, and think of new people that are told, hey, you should get your groceries from, Walmart or some other place that's cheaper. And I said, the older people would be logging in, and what in the world? These people are crooks. These are, and I said, so they'll fix it. I mean, them not fixed, Then she's, yakking in my ear about it, oh, it must be, and I know, no. I said, but I don't understand. If I were anybody working in the organization of, if I were the CEO, I would leave my office on the 25th floor of wherever it's located, and go down and go into whatever if it's data processing or wherever the problem is. I would go in there and I would tell them, fix this immediately, fix it immediately. And if somebody says, we're working on it, but it's blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff, I'd say, fix it today. Fix it right now. If it's not fixed by the end of the day, you're all fired. I mean, I don't understand how they could, that's got to be doing tremendous damage to them. And I worked at a hospital, and I'd worked there. Well, I worked at the hospital, and then they built a hospital, right out in the small town that I lived. I went there and worked there for 9 years. And then they started buying other hospitals. They bought just about every hospital in Kansas City, Missouri. They were buying those to keep the for-profit hospital corporations from coming in, and they were like telling the employees, "Well, we can't give you this much money. We can't do this. We've got to keep those for-profit." Then of course, we had a psych hospital on the 7th floor of the main hospital, and then they did away with the psych unit, and in cooperation with the for-profit corporation on a part of the hospital property, they built a psych unit that was, it was a deal between Health Midwest. It was Research Medical Center, and then it became Health, Corporation. Wow, God help us. And so then a joint venture there, and so of course I was telling the other 24 security officers, they're going to sell out to the health. Oh no, because they were always telling us, we got to keep the, I said they're going to sell out to, I forget the name of it, corporation, and of course they did. after I quit, after I retired. But anyway, before I retired, I decided to retire, and it was 1999, but I retired like January 1st of 2000. But anyway, like 2 months before or 3 months before, I informed everybody, human resources, and that I was retiring effective such and such a date. And the lady in charge, who had just been sort of hired in, I think, I know, she'd been hired in, and I talked to her, and she said, "Oh, okay, well, you'll get your retirement check will start like 2 weeks after, your date." And I said, "Wow, I would think that it would take, no, it'll be 2 weeks and you'll get your money." And the same with a check for the IRS, or the, what do they call that, where you pay in your own money, and I think the hospital, kicked in X amount each time, or I can't remember now. It's been, that's been 22 years ago. And so anyway, then I retired, and I didn't expect, 2 weeks later, I didn't expect to get the checks, and I'm a easygoing, quiet person, I think 2 more weeks go by, no money. I think I might even let some more time go by, Then finally I called up, it's the lady, who was, new. Of course, she'd been there now a few months, I won't go into everything, but it took me like 3 or 4 months to get my money. Turned out later on that I was not the only one. I thought I was the only one that they were doing this to. I really didn't think that. I knew they were messed up, but because of the type of person that I am, I've never been, when something needs to be, there was a problem at that hospital and other hospitals with racial prejudice, and I dealt with it. And unfortunately, the director of security was one of the biggest racists, and so I had to deal with him. And I did 4 grievances. Now, they were not, none of those were actually on the racial problems. They were on other problems affecting And I won all of my grievances, and things were changed. Now on the racial, I had to handle that by, uh, forcing one employee, security officer, to be fired. And I went over, the director of security's head. I went over, and I went to, I've told this story before. I went to, human resources, and the director of human resources, who was a fair guy, a great guy, wonderful guy, and he was in Miami, and I go in, I say, this employee, needs to be fired. He needs to be fired right now. And the assistant, director of human resources, said, well, Mr. Johnson is at a convention or some type of a thing in, Florida, and he'll be back, and I said, no, this employee needs to be fired. Now, I was getting this employee fired over, the director of security, and, and everybody, and I said, he needs to be fired. He needs to be fired now, right now, now. And no, I said, you're the assistant, director of this department. You can do it. It needs to be done. Oh, no, I said, okay, I'll take care of it. And I then went down the hall, went to the assistant administrator of the hospital, went in there and explained. And he picked up the phone. He called upstairs to the lieutenant. The director of security, I don't think, was there that day. And told him, Chuck was fired, and whatever. So then I got on the elevator, went upstairs. And, of course, the lieutenant wasn't there. He had told the secretary that he was leaving because he didn't want to be involved in, And, of course, the secretary said that he told her to tell me that he had a dentist appointment or something. She says, he has me make all his doctors and dentist appointments, stuff like that. And I said, I know that, So when Chuck came in, Chuck was fired. That's now on the pension thing, and the other, this lady that was her job there. She was she was her little office or whatever. That was to take care of the pensions, that kind of stuff. She hung up on me. I called finally, I called down. Hey, you said it would be. You said it was in the. She was, I was like, I get this. She says, finally, like it's in the mail. So I called. I forget who. Prudential, was with who the pension was with. And so I called the pension, I called where their office was. She said, and the guy says, I have explained to her that she has to do such and such a form and such a form. She hasn't sent them. All she needs to do is just, sign it and send it. And, and I said, okay. Anyway, she hung up on me. And, of course, and then she was also going, there was 25 security officers there at that hospital. She'd go outside a lot, kind of odd, but she'd go outside a lot and eat her lunch outside, and a security officer or whatever would, come by or something like that, walking through or driving by or something. And she was telling them, Jim Howard is going to be fired. He is, So anyway, I called, then I called, the CEO, and explained, that employee was saying that I was going to be fired. Of course they said, oh, we're taking care of it. You'll get it. Even I set up a Health Midwest Sucks website, and I had on it, what my problem was. I put And to make it better, I put on there, which is the truth, explained about if a hospital is doing financially, doing things that are wrong. And I listed, I didn't have to list it; it was listed, that, and you turn them in. You work there or something, you work in a business office or whatever, and you turn them in, you get a percentage. And I mean, I don't think there's a limit on it, because I've seen things where people got lots of money. I mean, like winning a lottery for turning in. And so anyway, I set this website up, and immediately I get a call from the secretary to the Health Midwest, CEO or whatever, that the problem was going to be taken care of immediately. And now it wasn't taken care of exactly immediately. It took them, and so people are strange. Then I found out, later. Well, of course, I eventually, left Health Midwest and, retired. But I found what was then Health Midwest sold out all of the, 15 hospitals that they had bought and all that kind of stuff. They sold out to that the for-profit one, the one that I think it's the biggest, maybe the oldest, and they took over. Then they took over all of the. But yeah, so I wasn't afraid to. And that Chuck, by the way, was fired. Him and his wife had been out to our house, and let's see, I don't think we'd been to their house for dinner or whatever. But he was fired. So why did I get on this subject? There had to be a reason. Oh, the price of, yeah. I don't understand. Like I said, I posted a YouTube video. I didn't go into a bunch of detail because that's not it. That's not it. This is it. I posted a video. I don't understand how, my God. They are Walmart. Well, they're not Amazon, and they're not, who are the other, major, but they're Walmart. And they have, when you go to their site to purchase groceries, you're going to see unbelievable prices on their list. And I don't understand why somebody in that corporation, why don't they take care of that? And that doesn't bother me. The ex-wife hasn't purchased anything that is, where did I have that? Okay, she hasn't purchased, any $81 worth of hot dogs. By the way, this has nothing to do with, this is on a different subject, sort of, but just to show you, Walmart has their big stores, that have everything, groceries and everything else. And they also have stores that are just, groceries. That's all they have. I forget what they call them. Now, I haven't been in because of the virus. I have trouble getting, even walking. I have trouble getting my shoes on. I can't reach my feet to, yeah. But and the ex-wife, I think that's when she was going, maybe. She's in a wheelchair, and but I think that's when she went herself. It was, and she she knows the prices, and I have trouble remembering my own name and my kids' names and everything else. 81. I've mentioned this before. If you're a young whippersnapper, take care of yourself. I mean, eat the right foods and don't drink Coke and, don't smoke. I mean, and take care of yourself and exercise. Or I thought, for most of my life, I had 2 jobs, and I thought I was getting, I was, turns out I wasn't. Just like everybody else, I got, type 2 diabetes, and I tell you. Oh, I was gonna show you that I was eating candy or something, even though this is just Cheetos. But anyway, she went to the grocery store. Okay, and she knows the prices of things and stuff. So anyway, so when she checked out, she should have noticed the price. She got, I think it was like $89 or $98 for something like that. I don't know, for a can of soup or something. If she gets, at the checkout, I guess, she thought, well, I spent more, I guess, than, and then she gets home and she, puts the stuff away and everything, and then of course, she keeps, oh my God, that order, and then she gets out the thing and goes through it, and she goes down to I think it was a can of soup. $98. They charged $98 for some reason for this. They weren't trying to rip her off or anything. Something wrong with the scanner or whatever. So I went back with like I said, we don't have a car. My grown daughter and I went there and with the can, and the receipt, the thing, and went there, to the help thing or whatever, the window or something, and then they called the manager over, and he came over and he said, awful sorry, he was real nice, of course, they were all real nice and everything, awful sorry about this and everything like that, and I forget if I said something. Well, I was concerned that you might think it was for some other item or something. He says, sir, this is the food, the Walmart food market. There isn't anything in this store that is this price. It's $98. It is, because all they had was groceries. There wasn't any. They weren't selling, I don't know, whatever something would be that was $100 or whatever. So anyway, they were real nice, and they gave us the money. Anyway, I got where is it here? Someplace. I mentioned this. I haven't even opened the box. I got the lapel mic. But, I haven't even opened it yet, and I may not even open it. I mean, I'm not going to send it back, But I may not even open it because I think I fixed the problems with the audio. And I think now the audio is pretty good. And so I'll just keep it in something. Well, I have, I'll have some other kind of a project or something coming up, or my son, or may need a, some, I don't know. So I'll put it in the. Oh, you young whippersnappers, you never heard of Fibber McGee and Molly and the closet situation. There's so much that you guys don't know. Important stuff. Anyway, if you run into this problem of a problem with Walmart and their thing, you might leave a comment, because I left the thing, which I didn't go into a lot of detail because I thought that there would be a ton of I see here, well, only one comment, and this Terry from the UK. Don't worry, it's just as bad in the UK, plus we have massive high gas prices and everything. So, here's somebody I think who thinks, no, that this is just the price, has gone up on something. No, there's a problem with their. Somebody else did say someplace that that on Walmart's thing that other companies are selling like food items or whatever, and or maybe it's other items, and that it's in their catalog, but it's I don't know how you'd put it. It's not a thing that's on the shelves there. These are other companies, or maybe the other companies actually put. I don't know. But no, I think I would be okay. Somebody's got to be working for Walmart. If that's, somebody's got to be working for Walmart. So if you know what in the hell is going on, I'd be curious. I don't think that. Where are we? No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. There it is. I don't think that if you log into the Walmart site and you click on these hot dogs, I don't think they're going to charge you $81.04 for it. I positively don't believe that. Wait, there's reviews. No, okay, no, okay. Anyway, I don't want to be dwelling on this subject. Thank you very much for. Oh, by the way, below you're going to see. I've been doing YouTube videos. Well, I've been doing videos before there was YouTube, before there was a Twitter or Facebook, or I was doing streaming video before there was any of these people even around. I was doing streaming video when I had to stream it off of my my computer, and the computers were not as powerful as they are now, and so. But anyway, I think that we don't really have any money to. I'm not about to click on this in order just to see what happens for a YouTube video. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, I can't. we're doing okay because we're living together. And take this in consideration. Having to live with my ex-wife. We had been divorced for, I think I was 40 when she wanted the divorce, although she tells everybody that I wanted the divorce, that I had a girlfriend. I did not. She wanted the divorce. And so we're doing okay. But anyway, not well enough that I could afford to take the chance. And of course, they would refund them, But if you have some, anyway, click on. Maybe I'd have enough money if you'll see a link below all the time. And if you click on that link, it takes you to Amazon site. And then once you're there, once you use my link and you go there, if you buy anything, I get a small commission. It's very small. I get a small commission. That would be a commission from Amazon. Okay. I get about, let's see, from YouTube, I get about $2 a month. I do these YouTube videos, and I've got 3,500 subscribers, and I think I've had 2 million views, I think, at this point. But from YouTube, I get maybe it's $20 a month. I think from YouTube, I think you get $20 a month. And I think from Amazon, I get, now there were a few months, probably during like Christmas season or something. And I think I got a couple months like in a row or something, I got $70. But for the last, now it's in the range of $2 a month. I mean, it's nothing. But it could be more, and could help me out if you would just use the link for Amazon. So anyway, doesn't cost you anything. And I had one person who was, for several months, apparently I think he owned a voice over IP type of company. It must have been a small company. I mean, I don't know anything about the people who, I can tell that somebody, clicks on something. I can't tell who it is or where they are or anything like that. But I can tell what they click on. Amazon lets you know that, so it gives you a better idea what people are clicking on, and you can arrange things on there to cater to them or something like that. So, but anyway, if you could just use, especially with we're going to get here into Christmas season before long. So it would help out. Just I'm going to be putting the link, I think. Okay, there's space in here or whatever. I think I'm going to put something from time to time in there with to try to get you to just use that link. Like I said, it doesn't cost you anything, and could help me out a lot. I do like to buy. I better not start eating while I'm talking here. Anyway, thank you very much for watching.